That new intro music, though. Welcome in, everyone, to the Chillin for Our Lives podcast, episode big time 80. The 80 straight weeks coming at you guys. I am your host, Stadium Beats, with my co-host, ElectricityWave. Thank you all for listening, for joining 80 weeks in a row. If you've been here since week one, we love you, man. That's crazy. If you've been here since week 80, we love you too. Welcome in. Hope you enjoy the show. We have so much to talk about today. We got the Jake Paul fight. Everybody's talking about it. You know we got to talk about it. We got
yes,
hella games. What?
I just said yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We got hella games to talk about. We got topics like talking about live events and games. Apex dropped a new trailer because we always got to talk about Apex. We played The Forest a bunch. We're going to talk about The Forest. We got rapid fire coming at you as always. So if all of that sounds interesting, check the subscribe button below. You can click on it too after you check it out. You can do all those things. Follow us on Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Spotify. I've got a new album coming out next Friday. Woo! It's going to be great. Hey. It's called Path to Affiliate, because the Twitch wordplay and because that's kind of where I'm at in my artist journey, as you could say. It's going to be hype. If you guys are lucky, I might even throw a song out at the end of this podcast to give you a little teaser. Yeah, I just thought about that. I'll probably do that. So I don't know which one yet, so I can't even tell you what it's called, but I hope you enjoy whichever one I decide to pick. Hell yeah. Let's get this started. How has your week been? What have you been doing? It's been... did we have 2 guest episodes in a row or 1?
I honestly don't even remember.
I think we had the incredible Deadly Dill on last week. Everybody check that episode out. If you didn't, he was an awesome guest. And then I think we did just us 2 and then 2 guests before that one, Street Grind and Goofy Wise.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm pretty sure that's how it's been going. But yeah, what's been going on in the the world of ElectricityWave?
Man, this is the part where I find out how boring I am. When anyone asks, like, yo, what do you got planned? What are you doing? And I'm just like, dude, you literally Control C, Control V to the next day. Cause, But today, made some brisket. For the first time ever, made some brisket. And, because there's like, me and my dad have watched countless cooking shows where they make the brisket. You have like the Barbecue Wars type show, and it always looks so good. You see that, you know, the dude with the spiky hair saying Flavortown.
Guy Fieri, the homie.
Yeah, that guy. And it just looks so good, right? Like a barbecue pulled pork sandwich, or that's 2 different things. A barbecued brisket sandwich. So we ended up making them. So I'm going to just mow down and chow down right after we record this. Other than that, going to the gym, got vaxxed up.
Got vaxxed
up. Yep.
You think they were saying that when they got the polio vaccine back in 1950?
Hold up.
Like, yo, fam, I got vaxxed up today. Polio ain't getting me down.
He said, what up, fam? I got vaxxed up. Whatever year that was.
Oh, man. Yeah, I have no idea when the polio vaccine was. It was 1850 for all I know.
Dude, if there's one thing, there's 2 things I don't know shit about. 1, geography, and 2, history. You could be like, damn. World War I was in 300 BC, and I'd be like, yup, it happened.
Damn, so you were killing it in social studies back in high school.
Dude, I had the worst social studies teachers, man. That's because I don't look in the past. You know what I mean? Like, I took out the rear view mirror in my car. Imagine.
Like, bro, who cares about? I was back there 5 seconds ago. Who cares about back there?
Yep. Oh man, I was watching this TikTok where this kid was like me at like I don't know, me as like 5 years old, and my dad about to butter it up in a parking spot at Home Depot, and he like
about to what?
Butter up a spot. Like, the way he worded it was so funny, because there's like this rock music playing, like some 80s rock, and it shows the dad like turn around, and he has like his arm on like the passenger side seat, and he's like looking back, and it's just like such a like relatable moment, you know, like your dad taking you to Home Depot and Just like, man, I used to go to Home Depot all the time. The only thing I liked from there was the hot dog stand they had.
Yeah, they had hot dog stands and popcorn too.
Yeah. So just, I don't know. It's funny stuff like that. And then there's this other thing that happened. I saw it was either today or yesterday. And it was like me as like 4 years old, just gaining consciousness. Like, if you think about it, like the first like 4, 5, 6 years of your life, you weren't even really like alive. Like you're just kind of,
you just exist
like
off
empty.
instinct.
Yeah. So it's funny to like think about like when you really became conscious of being human and everything.
Yeah. I wish that was like a moment you could remember. Like
I know.
If you feel your brain click on or something.
Yeah. I have no idea when that was.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm still waiting for it.
I have no idea what my earliest memory is. Like I have memories from obviously when you're super little, but I don't know. I can't pinpoint like, yes, I was 3 when that happened, or I was 4. And if that other memory that I can remember from when I was that age, did that happen before the other thing happened? I don't know.
Yeah, the timeline is just scrambled.
Yeah, like I absolutely love the history of things that I love. Like I'm a big history person, figuring out like the influences of what's happening today, all that stuff. But like world history, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I care minimally. I shouldn't say I don't care, but it's just low on the list.
Like somebody could walk up to me and said the Romans did this, and he could literally say whatever, and I would believe it. Mm-hmm. That's how
the entire Roman Empire was the 35th president of the United States.
That's every historic conversation. The Romans, and you're like, true.
Yeah, like, the Romans invented the internet. Like, oh yeah, I did hear about that. Actually, they killed it.
The Romans yeeted the rocks over the Atlantic Ocean. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude, so, I had a history teacher in college that told stories like that. And it's one of the only times I've ever been interested in a history class. Like how he told the story of Gilgamesh and just the random battles. I knew like if he could tell, if like he started the class by saying like, okay, today we're going to learn about the battle of whatever, this is going to be a great ass class because of how he described battles and how he told stories and stuff was so cool. I don't really know how much I learned in that class per se, but in terms of just actually keeping my attention and making me care in the moment, he was fantastic. He needs to be a storyteller.
That's a good teacher right there.
Yeah, he was awesome. So props to that guy whose name I won't name in college. I won't say.
Yeah, teachers that always made the class interesting when you would do like something out of the ordinary, because the worst teachers were the ones that just make you read out of the book and they have a PowerPoint and they're just bullshitting the whole time.
Oh my God,
it's not a lecture, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm not gonna remember that. My favorite teacher of all time he had like his PowerPoint days, and those sucked even. Like my favorite teacher ever, that was the one thing I didn't like, was like, oh man, we're having a PowerPoint day. That's when he would do his best to like, he would like sprinkle in some jokes, and like other teachers did PowerPoint days worse, but even his great PowerPoint days are still pretty low in the entertaining scale. Mm-hmm.
Man, how did we get to talking about school? We're so random, dude. I don't even remember what we're talking about. Oh, history.
Yeah. History.
But to go back on, the past week, it's been good times, Like I said, Control V, Control C, TikTok, content, working out. The only new thing that happened, I don't even remember. I think I got vaxxed. I don't know. It doesn't even matter. It happened.
Yeah. I think I got vaxxed before the last episode, but we had a guest, so we didn't really talk about ourselves that much.
Oh yeah, so I was like a week or two before you. So okay.
Dang, I'm on the ElectricityWave hype train, or the bandwagon. Like, man, Mike got vaxxed. I need to go do that.
I gotta get vaxxed.
Yep. There's people out there that were like, I don't know, name one massive influencer that posted their I got vaccinated picture. Yeah, Nick Merckx. And then someone was like, oh, Nick Merckx got vaccinated. Okay, I guess I can go do that now.
I'm getting 3 of them. Imagine I'm getting all 3.
Yeah. Like, I know we're supposed to get 2 doses. Can you just hit me with both of those right now? Like, save time. That's 5 head.
Can I get a smoothie of the Johnson & Johnson and Moderna?
The Johnson & Johnson Moderna smoothie. Is that like Ben and Jerry? Are Johnson and Johnson like Ben and Jerry of the vax?
And the worst on the opposite way, because one person had that blood clot, and now 3 trillion people are scared. So
6 people had the blood clot.
Yeah, so
that's a lot. I guess I have no idea.
The math works out. E equals MC squared or something.
I had the opposite week. I told you last night in Discord, I could totally run a solo podcast this week of this is what Stadium did this past week, and this is what he thinks about all those things. But I obviously will spare you that. And if you are interested, I actually streamed for the first time in a while a couple days ago at twitch.tv/Stadium Beats. I might be popping in there. I'll never be a full-time streamer or have any kind of consistent anything, but I'll be popping in there a little bit more occasionally. But anyway, I played this game called Everhood, and it's so good. I kind of saw it like floating around here and there. Friend of the show, Double Agent Smith, tweeted about it. He was playing it. And then you brought it up to me. You mentioned it, and I forgot. You basically sold it by saying it's like a Guitar Hero 8-bit. Yeah. Whatever you said. You said like you strung together these like 4 sentences so perfectly. I was like, I am buying this game. And then so I bought it. It was like $8 or whatever. Picked it up instantly, and then the next day I played through the whole thing in 2 sittings. Took me like 5.5 hours or so. And I did a lot. Like you could beat it quicker than that. I played on hard, so I died a few times, which it still wasn't really that hard. But if I would have played on normal or whatever, it would have been quicker. And I tried to do a lot. It's so fun. And like the Guitar Hero thing, it kind of looks like it from a surface level, but it's not really a rhythm game. Like the enemy attacks you in a rhythm, like you're in a lane but you have to dodge their attacks. But you're not like jumping in rhythm, or you're just kind of moving and dodging however you want. Game takes a huge ass turn that you never see coming halfway through it, and it totally changes everything, which is super cool. Gameplay's fun. The music is incredible. There's this one scary like maze monster, and it's supposed to be like this big scary spider. But the top comment of the song on YouTube is so perfect. It's like, how am I supposed to be scared of this thing when it's so funky? Because the song is so cool. You're just like grooving while you're playing the game, and it's supposed to be scary, but there's no way because the song's hype as fuck. The story is great. The dialogue is cool. I have a few gripes with it. Something about the ending. Like I think the ending itself is great, but something about the ending that I can't really say because I don't want to spoil it. But there is some specific part of the ending where I'm like, dude, please. There's many typos and like grammar errors throughout the whole thing, and I try not to be a grammar Nazi too much or anything, but it's like this is like a game, and there's some very obvious things throughout. It was weird that you don't see that very often. But like other than that, like those are the 2 super minor gripes. The game is great. It's called Everhood. Highly recommend you all to check it out. Just go in blind. I kind of even hate that I said that there's a huge flip flop in the middle, but like even obviously things happen. It's a story. Something's got to happen. Yeah. It's super fun. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I can't wait to play it. And I was watching Double Agent Smith do a boss battle, and I just got a glimpse of like the Guitar Hero like rhythm type way you fight the boss, and I was like, oh shit, this is like sick, and the music is great. So, and they'll have a conversation with you like while you're fighting them. So the characters have like they don't actually talk. It's all dialogue, but then they have a sound effect that they make, and each one is so cool. Like it's just this little sound, and you might think, oh, that might get annoying, but they're all like cool enough, and it just works. Like there's this one there's one character in the game who's green. I can't remember his name, but he's like a wizard, I think, with a green robe on, or a green hood or cape. And his sound is so cool. Every time he got on screen, I was like, hell yeah, I get to talk to this guy again. The game is super fun. It's way out there. It's great. Very witty.
Everhood. Very witty. Yeah, it's actually funny. Like it actually made me laugh a few times. The bosses get crazy difficult. But it's super easy to pick up and play. It's super straightforward. You just jump over the things or you dodge them, like moving left and right. It's awesome. I don't know where this game came from, what other games these guys make or anything. It just like popped up and it's sick.
Yeah, sometimes like games just, you know, and ideas just click, you know, and they come out of nowhere, and they might have made a game where it didn't do as well, but I mean, there's some game devs and some teams out there that are so underrated.
Yeah.
Like, so underrated. They just don't have the budget yet, but I mean, you don't always need a huge budget to make a great game.
Definitely not.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I played that. I finally picked up and finished Resident Evil 3 Remake, which I thought was amazing. And I really think that the RE engine is like, it's the only engine that I legitimately think competes with Naughty Dog. And it's like actually very close. And for me to say that is, I think that's like huge because I'm obsessed with Naughty Dog. But like how the bullets tear through the zombies, how the characters look, the environments, just from a pure graphic standpoint, it's so top tier. It's crazy. It makes me really even more excited for Resident Evil 8. Like Resident Evil 8 being in first person, and then in newer, I haven't played the demos, nothing. So like people already know obviously how it looks and feels and everything. But that game's getting really close, and Devil May Cry 5 uses it and is amazing. Capcom is really, really killing it these past like 3 or 4 years. They turned it around and they're amazing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just
really
hearing you
excited.
talk about it got me excited for Resident Evil 8. So
Yep. Yeah, that game comes out in like 2 weeks or so, I think. I don't know if do you know if you're getting it for sure or not?
Right at launch, it's gonna be an impulse buy if I do.
Yeah. I'm getting it for sure, so I'll have things to say about it. That episode of the pod. I sold my drum kit this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I watched that.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry to cut you off, but I remember you said something about the drums, like you had an epiphany. So I wanted you to like elaborate on that.
Oh yeah. So I sold my drums. I sold all of my drums except for my hi-hat and my snare, because those are like by far the two best parts of my kit, and I never wanted to sell them ever. And except for maybe because they're even like, I don't know how I was able to get them, but they're like pretty high tier drums. Like even if I like won the lottery, I don't think I would upgrade my snare. It's fantastic. But when I was there, like while he was looking at them all and like coming up with a price and everything, it was the first time I've been in a live music store in a long time. Like not just because of COVID, but just living in my apartment. It's just not something that I do anymore. And my drums have been sitting over there forever. But just looking at all the drum kits live and in person, seeing them all, seeing the cymbals on the wall, seeing guitars, they had everything. They had like music, or they had like audio interfaces. They had mixing boards, DJ stuff, equipment, just like pure Sean heaven. And it like really made me think like I have to get back into this space. So it made like really even more like kickstarted my grind and how I got to get my house and just buy my new drum kit, because I sold my kit because it's just like a super typical beginner kit. I could, by the time I get a house, I could easily buy a new one for just a few $100. That would be really, really nice. So yeah, I just kind of had that, like just being in there was really inspiring, and it was great. And it's, I don't know, drums are beautiful.
I say you could do, if you ever go on tour or when you go on tour, instead of like, you could have songs to where you just cut out the drums, like press a button, and then you have your setup and you could play it live while your beat's playing.
Yes. Yeah. I would love that.
Yeah, that's it.
That'd be super fun. I would 1,000% do that. Maybe do like a drum solo or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I watched the AT&T Mortal Kombat tournament. That was fun. I was rooting for Shroud. He didn't win. Got caught up on all my anime. I had a busy week, but it was fun. But now we here.
Dude, yeah. I don't know what it is, but after the talk we had in Discord last night, I not only want to like catch up on a bunch of animes and binge some, but I also want to get, I think during the podcast, I was like randomly thinking about Guilty Gear, and I'm just like, damn, man, that shit sounds fun to get into a new like anime style fighting game.
Yeah, and the best time to get into a fighting game is when a new one comes out, because that's when the most people are playing it typically. That's when people are like discovering stuff, like posting tech on Twitter, like, oh my God, this combo's into this. Or did you know you can counter this with this? Like, that's just when everyone's new. Like nobody has any idea what they're doing, and they're just figuring everything out. So Strive is gonna be awesome, and can't wait. It's by far gonna be the biggest Guilty Gear ever. Like I have no idea what the last one sold, but let's say it sold 300,000 copies. This one could sell like 1 million. Like it's going to be way higher, mostly because like Arxis was already on the map, but their Dragon Ball fighters like shot them up into the mainstream. Everything about it's going to be great. Cannot wait for that game.
When's the actual release date for now?
I think June 8th. Well, June 8th is when, if you buy the deluxe edition, you get the game 3 days early. So that's June 8th. June 11th is the official launch, but like almost everyone is getting the deluxe anyway. So
Interesting.
Yep. I already got that bought, pre-ordered, and I hardly ever pre-order games anymore. Well, like I'll pre-order the game like a day or two in advance just to preload it.
Dude, that reminded me about Back 4 Blood getting delayed. Fuck.
Man.
To be playing that in June, dude.
I know that game. I mean, it'd still be kind of far, like 2 months, but it's way sooner than like 8.
Yeah,
or 6. Yeah, 6 months away. Oh, that's half a year away. Damn.
Yep.
It's so funny. Sometimes I'll think. I remember when the Halo 4 release date got announced, and it was announced at E3, which is in June, and it was announced for winter the following year. So I don't remember exactly which year it was. I just remember thinking, holy shit, that is forever away. And now that game came out forever ago. Like that game is old as hell. And I just remember thinking, this game's never going to come out. It's so far away.
Think about all the stuff you've done and like you've done so much since then.
Yeah. Halo 4 came out when? Like 2011, maybe 12, 10. I don't even know. Somewhere in there. Yeah. Somewhere in there. And I've gone to college since then. I've done moved out, so many things.
Yeah. Grew a beard, shaved it off.
Yeah, I have. Well, actually, no. Ever since I started, I have grown a beard. Since I started growing it, I never completely shaved it off, actually. But pretty close. I grow it pretty low anyway. But yeah, anime is great. Fighting games are great. Put them both together. You got Guilty Gear. It's amazing.
Yep.
All right, we can move on to some topics now.
Yeah, let's start with the Jake Paul fight. It was such I wouldn't say like spontaneous, because I always think of like, I always feel like I always hear people overuse that word. Like, I just want to be spontaneous, but it was a spontaneous moment. We were just chilling on a Saturday, which is like my off day for stream. And I was like, oh fuck, like the Jake Paul fight's tonight. I've been seeing a lot of promo about it. It seems interesting. You got this MMA fighter. He's fighting an actual fighter. I mean, maybe not a boxer, but it's someone who has fighting experience, unlike Nate Robinson. Yeah. I was like, let's watch this fight in the Discord. So we ended up watching it, and it was like this massive event that Triller put on. You have Justin Bieber performing, Snoop Dogg there performing and announcing. Oscar De La Hoya was commentating. Like, everyone was there. It was almost as big as like the Conor McGregor and Mayweather fight. I don't know the numbers, but it was like that altitude of just like celebrities were there.
Yeah, and it was in an empty building, and they still were able to like create that vibe, which is really cool. Yeah,
and it was a super long event. You know, they had a lot of stuff going on, but I don't know. I had a lot of fun watching it, you know, with everybody in the Discord, and it was cool. You know, the undercard was still interesting enough. But the actual fight, I thought it was, I don't know. Anytime when I watch boxing, you know, like, remember Mike Tyson in his prime, right? This dude, you're paying pay-per-view, so $50 to $100, whatever it costs at the time, to watch this dude throw maybe 10 punches, maybe less, and knock his ass out.
Yeah, so I'm paying to watch like a 15-second fight, and that's what I hope I get.
Yeah, and like with Mike Tyson, you kind of know that, but it's still kind of a letdown because you want to get your money's worth, or you want to get just your time's worth in the hype. You know, there's so much hype behind a fight. You know, there's weigh-ins, there's all this press. Yep. And the Jake Paul fight, it was quick as hell. Like,
it was so quick. It was like a minute 50, I think, or a minute 58.
Yeah, he just dropped him, and next thing you know, like the ref just stopped it, which was really weird to me. I thought like he was gonna let him at least, you know, fight at least like get knocked down a couple times.
Give him a chance. He shot right back up. He was a little wobbly, but we've seen fights in the past where fighters get up and they get knocked down, but then they once they get back up and then they come back and they win, and it's like a dramatic thing. But I'm not a medical professional. That ref must have saw something in his eyes or saw nothing in his eyes and well, we're done here. I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, it was hype. It was a lot of fun to just see all the celebrities there. They had Pete Davidson, kind of like a reporter, I guess, and he was making a lot of jokes and stuff. And
they had Pete Davidson and Ric Flair officiate a slapping contest. I didn't see that. Like, what is that?
That's funny.
Yeah, and it was a cool slapping contest. They were doing like the WWE camera shifts though, like 15 camera cuts for each slap. So it made it like, I don't know. I thought that was kind of weird. The camera crew, they need a different one. And but the slappers were great. They looked big. Pete Davidson was funny during it. Ric Flair was Ric Flair, as he always is. And so that was cool. That was like the most hyped fight of the undercard, I thought, was the slap fight. But yeah, then the real fight was like, I don't know. I guess it's nice that Jake Paul like actually beat a fighter this time, like you said. He's one of the biggest draws in fighting right now, which is completely insane.
Wild.
Yeah, he's 2-0 as a professional, and he's knocked out 2 non-fighters, including one guy who's like 5'6".
I was gonna say it's that Conor McGregor effect where people love to hate him, but also love to watch someone they hate. So that's why he gets all that attention, because people hate how he acts, his attitude, and people everyone, like, I would say like 75% of people that watch probably want to see him get knocked out. And it might be more than that. Yeah. And so I don't know, like, if there's going to be another fight, but it feels like there has to be. It's all a matter of who, so do you think, if you had to bet, do you think they're going to go boxer, MMA fighter? They're not going to go celebrity, because like his whole shtick thing is like that he can actually fight. So they're going to have to get somebody that's a proven like boxer.
Yeah, I don't know if they go there yet. It's tough because ever since Mayweather retired, and I guess even before that, like once Mayweather got a ton of wins and was still undefeated, I feel like that's such a big part of boxing now. Is like that's the draw, is that he's undefeated. So I feel like he might still just kind of pick and choose simple fights, like, which is okay. He's 2-0. He's 3-0, like in total, 2-0 as a professional. Right. So like he shouldn't be stepping in there with like the world heavyweight champion or whatever. That'd be insane.
Right.
So like of course he's gonna be he fights Brock Lesnar, which is who I want to see.
Oh my god, they're in the same weight class.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You split Brock Lesnar in three.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's arms against Jake Paul. Right. But like, so of course he's gonna fight easy fighters, but I feel like they're gonna want to keep it going. I feel like 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. Which of course anyone can win any fight. We are also in the age of conspiracy theory where everything is a conspiracy. So people might think like, either Askren was in on it or the ref was in on it, or it was just all fixed. It might be, it might not have been. I don't know.
It was rigged and Earth is flat.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Jake Paul punched Ben Askren off the edge of the earth and he fell into space. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was crazy. And it just happened live on pay-per-view, and people still don't believe that Earth is flat. Or that Yeah.
Did you see that Justin Bieber's scales? That it confirms that he's a lizard person. When he was performing, I saw it.
Oh, really? No, I missed it.
What? Dude, if I was Justin Bieber and I heard about those like conspiracies, dude, I would like have it edited where it would like tease more. I would so play into it.
Like hire like a big famous Hollywood prosthetic person and have them make a tongue and like pay someone to act like they're paparazzi, and like his like fake tongue kind of falls out and he's like, oh shit, and tries to put it back. That'd be amazing
promotion, dude. Everyone in the world would talk about it. So
but yeah, so I don't know, like I'm not in the fighting space enough, the real life fighting space enough to like pick people for him to fight, because I would have never guessed he would have fought Nate Robinson. Like Ben Askren, I haven't heard that name in so long. So I honestly have no idea who he could fight next.
They're saying KSI, which is who beat Logan Paul, which that would be an interesting fight to see KSI versus Jake.
Mm-hmm. Is KSI still doing the boxing thing, or was he just kind of like a one and done against Logan Paul?
I think he was a one and done, so I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I could definitely see it because after the first event when Logan Paul fought KSI, and then Jake Paul did his undercard, I think after Jake Paul won a fight, he was like screaming outside of the ring at KSI because KSI was chilling, watching the fight, and they were like trash talking. So I could definitely see it be a thing, and that would definitely draw a lot of people. I just don't know if like KSI is wanting to do that because it's such a big commitment to do all that training.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like, I don't remember when his last fight was, but there's usually months in between fights. Triller, like I'm so torn on if I actually liked the event. Like I liked the underground feel of it, like the kind of unprofessional feel of it, like the commentators saying fuck and stuff, like, and just the feel. Maybe it's just because it was an empty building, but it did feel like an underground fight club kind of thing. And I mean, it's called the Triller Fight Club, but I think even though the musical guests were great, I think there was way too many. There has to be somebody to reel in people like Oscar De La Hoya who won't shut up about random shit. Please keep Snoop Dogg in commentary. Please keep doing that. But like, they're trying to become a big thing. Like Triller has exploded over the past couple of years. So I've seen people think like not only who is Jake Paul going to fight next, but what is going to be the next Triller event. You've seen how much money they're willing to pour into something. So now, like, is that where Conor McGregor is going to fight next? Is that where Floyd Mayweather is going to fight next? Like those big celebrity fighters, not just like, I have no idea who the heavyweight champion is. There's like 20 heavyweight champions in boxing, it feels like. So they're looking for people like that. And then that might be where you see two totally non-fighters fight. I don't know. Fighting is cool because everyone can fight technically. Not everybody's a good fighter, but you can give boxing gloves to two people and it's gonna sell. Yep. If people want to see them punch each other in the face, then they're gonna buy it.
Yeah, like watching an amateur fight and someone gets knocked out is just as exciting, especially if you know them and they're celebrities, as like two professionals throwing punches. Like, yeah, it's not as technical, but still fun to watch someone get knocked out. Yeah.
People watch fights on World Star all the time. Those people don't know what they're doing. So Triller can charge $50, throw two celebrities in there, have them brawl. Celebrity deathmatch style like MTV.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see. I think that could definitely be because the Mike Tyson, he just had his fight. So I could see like the celebrity boxing just being like a more mainstream thing, and people see like the checks that people are getting and the amount of attention it's bringing. Like I feel like we're going to start seeing a lot more internet stars, like influencers and like just whoever, like start to box each other because it's just like it's great content, like always.
Yeah, and we are literally in the age where people will do anything for content. So if you tell them you're gonna, so you tell me or you tell them you're gonna throw them into a boxing ring and they're gonna make like they can make a couple $1 million in a few minutes, like they're gonna do that. Isn't there an event coming up that's like YouTubers versus TikTokers?
I haven't heard about it, but
I'm pretty sure there's an event. I don't know if it's fighting or boxing or I don't know exactly what the event is, but there's a YouTubers versus TikTokers thing happening soon. So you're on the right track.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, fighting, no matter how barbaric people now think it is, like we're supposed to be progressing past violence or whatever, there will always be an audience for fighting. Always. Yep. Violent video games are still more popular than ever. Movies, like fighting is too exciting. People will always be an audience for it.
Dude, imagine like back when they had Spartans and you just see a fucking buffalo charging like a dude that's like 500 pounds and he's like 8'7", just been lifting like metal and tree trunks his whole life. Like that shit is exciting.
Yeah. And now he's going to fight this bull or this like lion. We're gonna throw him into a cage with 3 lions and hope he can fight his way out.
Dude, I would watch that. Why didn't they take video of that?
I know. I haven't seen one TikTok of the lion eating that guy.
Well, I haven't seen a TikTok of some barbaric shit going on. That's crazy.
Yeah, imagine that. It's like real life footage, but then they put, look at this distinguished gentleman.
Look at the way he is killing. Yes.
Yes.
He's just doing the TikTok dance too. He's like twerking. He's twerking to Bruno Mars.
Oh, someone's getting mauled in the background.
In the background. Yeah. And it's just like, it's the song Say So. Oh my God.
But
what else we got?
I still prefer watching fake fighting. Like,
yeah,
I want my wrestling, which is just what I call it. I call it pro wrestling live action anime, and that's what pro wrestling is, and I love it.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, you still get Mike Tyson knocking people out there too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. What is next?
Well, we have a couple things. I think we could probably skip the forest.
Okay. Watch us play the forest on twitch.tv/ElectricityWave.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So we'll continue that soon. And if I can destroy the leg lady,
oh my God,
build her base. But new Apex trailer came out, a new cinematic like masterpiece anime Apex style like film. They have the new season called Legacy. They're gonna drop the numbers. They're not going with the season 9. It's technically
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's technically season 9, but they're just calling it Legacy, which I would have done it at season 11. But you know, sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. You know,
Why
you don't
11?
really have just because to complete it after 10 would be nice, kind of how Fortnite did.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But Legacy, I like the name. I like the aesthetic. It seems like it's going to be like very pilot Titanfall oriented, like bird theme, like a very like a hawk or something. Like that's how the battle pass seems. It's going to be very like aerial, you know.
I can see Lifeline having a sick skin.
Yeah, like
I don't know why.
So we have that going on there. So they dropped a new trailer, and basically all of the trailers have to do with like the lore, and they kind of explain the the backstory of the character or just kind of what's going on in the Apex universe. And man, these are I never really watched them when they first came out, so I probably should go back and watch them. Like I remember the Bloodhound one for his event, I remember the Pathfinder one, and now this one, but I don't remember if they used to do them or when they started that.
I think, they weren't this grand or anything. A few of them are really short. Like Watson's is super short. I want to say Wraith is the first one. That might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Wraith was the first one. That one's pretty good. The art style isn't as good. Like their production quality wise, they're lesser, but they're still good. I would recommend going and watching them.
Yeah, so I'm going to go back and watch those. But if you haven't watched them or watched the new Legacy one, it introduces the new legend, which is Valkyrie. And she's fucking awesome. She's like a badass pilot, so any of Titanfall lovers are going to really like her. And it kind of goes through her story. They're in a Titan, which is pretty crazy to see. And one small thing that I noticed is, do you remember when the Titan was taking off into the sky? In that video, the way that the smoke looked, how it was animated, looked so clean and just like crisp. And man, when I watch these, they're like 8 minutes long. This last one, like everything that goes into it, you can tell there's a lot of there's like a whole production team and animation team that does this. It's not just like some lazy thing.
No.
But these are so fun to watch, and every single time that they come out, I'm like super hyped. I watch it on my monitor with my headset on so I can like fully, enjoy the experience. And I really can't wait for the day. hopefully that they announced an Apex, Netflix series or anime or movie or whatever, because they're so good. And like the new character looks like it's going to be a lot different playstyle than any of the current ones. So I think it's going to be really fun to use her, but we're still kind of waiting on details with her.
Yeah, we don't know too much in terms of specifics. She's the daughter of the antagonist in Titanfall 2, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I guess we'll see the day that you guys are listening to this. The day that this pod drops is the like season 9, and it seems like to be a gameplay trailer. So we'll get more of like the actual game instead of just like a short film. So that's gonna be cool. I'm gonna watch that, of course, and then we'll probably get the Battle Pass trailer next week. Rumblings of an arena mode, like team deathmatch, maybe something like that. I wonder if they would keep it 3v3 with and how many maps they're gonna have, because making a map is not easy, and this is like the second mode. So I wonder if we're just gonna get like 5 maps, or if they're gonna go crazy and give us 10. How detailed they're gonna be? Are they all gonna be on Olympus and Kings Canyon and World's Edge, or are they gonna be completely different places? So many questions. Hopefully we'll have some answered by the time you listen to this. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just very excited.
Yeah, in terms of like the map, like obviously it's never easy to make a map. Like there's so much work and thought that goes into it. Not only the way it looks, but just the way it plays is the important part.
Yeah.
But I think just the size of them, it's going to be a lot more condensed, like a Gears map or, a Call of Duty multiplayer map. So it's not going to be as, sporadic and crazy as like a full ass like Kings Canyon. Right. That's like a world almost.
Yeah. It's going to be like a tenth of the size or smaller, maybe.
Yeah, my guess is that they might take like chunks of every map and just like have barriers so you can't leave. But I don't know. It's tough to say, like, because we don't even really know what the mode is going to be. It might not even be a 3v3 or like a team deathmatch. It might just be like a 1v1, and then someone comes in, and then because the teaser that happens, you like in the recent Apex, teaser, you have to find these key cards, and then you load into the firing range, and then the ship comes to the firing range, and it takes you to like a whole nother place, like it's warp speed, and then you load in, and you hear the announcer speaking. I believe it's Ash, and as you're going up, you hear a bunch of gunshots and people fighting, and I think she says like someone's been eliminated, but there's a new challenger coming in, so it could be this type of like King of the Hill type thing where it's like all solos. Like we really don't know much about it, but I trust Apex, and I think this type of playstyle is going to be really fun either way. I would prefer, I think, a team game rather than like 1v1v1v1.
Yeah, I would too. Titanfall has a 1v1 like cage match mode, and I basically like never played it. I'd much prefer 3v3 or 5v5 or something more traditional. It doesn't have to be team deathmatch. It could be like a search and destroy or some kind of new mode or whatever they want to do. I think that would be much better if it was team based, especially because they like double, triple, quadruple down on we don't want solos in battle royale. So then they're going to give us 1v1 in this arena mode. I don't know.
And is this game mode going to have like, are you just going to have a loadout? Like, are you going to have to pick up guns on the map? Like, I don't know. We're literally
pure
just left in the shadows. Yeah. Yep. We don't know anything right now. Like you'll even see people like that data mine. They don't know anything yet. So they're really keeping it like as private as they can to the very last second. And then they'll release everything.
Yeah, because they haven't even if it wasn't for like leaks and rumors and stuff, like they haven't said anything about it. They haven't even hinted at it. I don't think. I mean, I guess with this event or with the end game thing that you were talking about, they hinted at it, but there's been no like tweets, no articles, no videos, no nothing that says anything about an arena mode. Yeah, it's all just hearsay.
Yeah, but it's really exciting to think about it, and I really hope that they have a whole separate team to work on this, because I mean, I don't know how big Respawn is, but they have the money. So
yeah, I know they have 2 teams, but that's like their Respawn team or their Apex team, or like their Apex Titanfall team, and then their Star Wars team. So they could possibly, but maybe with a mode like this, I'm pulling these numbers out of thin air. Let's say they have 200 people on the Apex team. Maybe for the past year, they've had 30 of them working on the arena mode or something. Right. Like, there's so many ways that they could do it. So it's very possible. Or they could just hire more people. It's EA. They have infinite money, basically.
Infinite money.
Infinite money.
It's because of those Madden packs, man.
Oh yeah, it's so crazy how Madden Ultimate Team like really. I bet if we could if we had fairy godparents and can wish away Madden Ultimate Team, it never existed. I bet video games would look a little different right now. It might not be drastic difference, but they would look a little different.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not the original loot box, but it's one of the original mainstream huge loot boxes was opening card packs.
And then just loading up and like an NBA 2K, you'd load up and you'd go up against a guy that literally bought his team. He has a 99 gold diamond Steph Curry that can walk past the half court line and just press a button and it's going in. Oh my God.
Yep. Gone are the days of just play now, loading up Pistons versus the Cavs. Now you got to grind 300,000 hours and $20 million to build up your team and get your packs.
Yeah, just to fight a guy that owns Exodia pretty much in human form.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I never thought about it. I never thought about that. You got Exodia.
Yo, dude, I just a quick thing. I remember I used to always play Yu-Gi-Oh against everyone in my latchkey, and I had a great deck and I knew how to play pretty solid, and I could pretty much think I could beat everyone. But there was this one kid that didn't even have that great of a deck, but he had all 5 pieces of Exodia.
Oh shit!
And he would fucking just wreck me because that's as soon as he gets it, it's GG's, my guy.
Yeah,
so
it's literally over. You don't even have to play them all. If you have them in your hand, you win.
Yep. So I hated that kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck Exodia.
But, yeah, that was that's my only bad experience with Yu-Gi-Oh! Was going against that kid that had that, and he just thought he was so good. I'm like, dude, there's no skill. Really just draw cards.
One of my old roommates had Exodia, but he built his deck around the idea, so there was kind of skill involved, I guess. There was skill in building the deck. His whole deck was just
bitch.
Yeah. His whole deck was just built around drawing cards and extending your turn and being able to do all that stuff. So there was no way you wouldn't get it, and being able to he would summon the right arm, so it was out on the field, but then he'd play another card that allowed him to put it in the graveyard, and then he would have another card that allows him to pull from his graveyard. It was just so annoying. Each of his turns would take 5 minutes. It sucked.
That's when you just get fucking 19 labyrinth walls and just hide.
Yeah. Hide your life points behind 20 labyrinth walls.
Yep. Oh man, good times.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Or I used to.
Me too.
I guess.
If we want to move kind of quick, I can mention the Warzone event.
Sure.
You'd like? Okay,
sure.
So Warzone, they had this huge event, new map. Basically, Verdansk is getting nuked. So I log in onto Twitch and I see my boy Nick Merckx with 200K viewers to start.
Oh my god!
Before the 30 minutes before the events even started, the countdowns, it's ticking, clock is ticking, and the event starts. And I look over during this, and he probably got higher because I was busy doing stuff. But this dude was at 360K concurrent viewers.
God.
That's
insane.
That's more than so many websites even have throughout a year of traffic. So, he's doing it or whatever. And the sucky thing about video games is when you have a huge update, a huge event, Apex, it's almost like clockwork. Every time there's an Apex event, just pretty much plan your day around the event because the servers are getting absolutely fucked.
Yep.
And that's what happened in Call of Duty. They're playing and all of a sudden the servers just freezes. The game stops. They're like, fuck. So they have to back out. They go back in. He's playing with Tim the Tatman, Courage JD, and Cloaksy. They got the squad. They load back in, and what happens is everyone that dies turns into a zombie, but you can't respawn, so you stay as a zombie for the rest of the game mode until the cutscene happens. There's music playing, there's all this radio wave talk, and it's very cinematic feeling. You feel like you're in a war. It's really cool how they did it.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it was super intense. They're all screaming at each other because zombies are respawning and obviously stream sniping. There's he has 1/3 viewers. So
yeah,
there's gonna be some people that want to kill him. So they're screaming. They're they find out that the Juggernaut's about to land. So he's well, let's just play Juggernaut because the Juggernaut's you get a turret and this thick ass armor. So they land on it. Tim the Tatman's fucking doing donuts, just like waiting to like, you know, till it drops. And they're just fighting off all these people and zombies. And then finally it drops. And you have to like, in Call of Duty, when you have like the packet, the whatever it's called, the package, like the square box that drops. I can't think of it right now.
The care package?
Yeah, the care package. You literally hold the button. And for Juggernaut, you have to hold it there for quite a while. And he's just like waiting and everyone's just watching. And he gets the Juggernaut. And like, dude, you know him and his YouTube editor, like, dude, this is a banger. You know, because he has so many people like watching and it's intense. And it's like the perfect scenario. They get in the back of the truck. Tim's driving it. They go to a building and he's going up on a zip. And there's 2 zombies waiting for him. But it doesn't really matter because he's a jug. So like he can kind of just get up there or shoot them. But his game freezes. Boom. Just as he gets up there. And I'm just like, I feel for him because, you know, he had pretty much the perfect scenario because it's a huge day. Like a new map's coming to Call of Duty. You know, Call of Duty's hot. He's like the #1 like creator on, you know, he's just killing it. And that happens. And I'm just like, man, I feel for him because, you know, there's all that pressure and like it was so hype and everyone in the chat was just like spamming like capital no why. Damn. But
man, that's so rough.
Yeah, it was still really cool to watch, and I think they just ended up putting up like the best parts of those 2 games, even though they disconnected, which you know, that's cool for them. But the reason I like wanted to bring it up is just because like it made me think, you know, Fortnite definitely paved the way with live events. Yeah. People, you don't even have to play Fortnite and you're like hyped for the new event. Like I'll log on to Fortnite just to experience the events because they're that good of an experience. And then Call of Duty's like doing it. Destiny had that huge fail with it that we talked about. But I really would love to see live events with a game like Apex because I think the stuff that they could do, because they usually blow up the map. Like remember in World's Edge, it like froze over.
Yep.
Like stuff with like that would be so cool to be like dropping into a game. You hear like the like Ash or whoever, whatever voice announcer happen, and then like some shit goes down and you're just all watching it together. Like I really think Apex could benefit from that. And the viewership in numbers it brings to YouTube and Twitch is insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Huge.
So
yeah, it'd be, I think it'd be super fun. Like, I mean, live events are always cool. They're always fun. They're always hype. Video games take forever to develop. So maybe like they got the idea a year ago and they're like just working on it or something, or maybe a few months ago. And like it's possible. Of course, they've brought it up. There's no way that they haven't. Whether or not it cleared and they actually go through with it, who knows? But I'd be into it. I mean, I'm super hyped about it. The very first Fortnite rocket launch event was so cool to me. That stuff like blew my mind. I was like just thinking, man, I used to just be running left and right with Mario in a game and he looks like a few pixels on screen. And now I'm in a room with 99 other people watching a live thing happen. Like it was just so cool. And like now it's whatever, but I like I'm totally into the idea. It doesn't need to happen in every game, but in something like Apex, like sure, why not? I think it works. It's a living, breathing world, constant updates. They're into the lore, like obviously with this
heavy.
Yeah, like with the short film that the Valkyrie trailer. Or the Valkyrie video. Yeah, the story is awesome. Respawn has made 2 story games in their history, and they're both incredible. So they just hired a new writer to be on the team for Apex specifically. The new Apex comic is coming out in June.
I gotta get that.
Yeah, so do some live events, do some lore stuff, give us a campaign, do like all that stuff is great. It's so much fun.
Yeah. So I like you said, maybe they're talking about it. Maybe they thought it was a good idea. I mean, they have the writer, so like I don't know, they're investing into the lore, so there's definitely going to be like, I feel like Apex, as long as it keeps continuing to grow like it is, and they have all these plans for it, it does feel like they're gonna, they had the Pathfinder book, they have, the lore, they put so much time into it. I could definitely see them either going live event or going movie or going show, or they have comics you're saying coming out later this year. Like they're really trying to expand. So, and a lot of people enjoy the lore. Like it's actually good and it's interesting. Not only is it produced well and looks great, but it's like very interesting. Like the concept that these guys are like killers and they all have their own backstory, and the fact that you have Titanfall to like have like the, what would you call it? Like the prelogue or like the
like the prologue. Like they've got
the prologue.
Yeah, they said Titanfall was the war. Like that's what those games are about. And then Apex is like the fallout. Like everything after that. It's like post-war basically.
Yeah. So there's so much to just go off of, and I think it'd be really cool for the game because there's so much to talk about. And like imagining a movie where like you see like your favorite character, like your main, like use their ult in a movie, like that would be hype as fuck.
Yeah, that's what we're getting this Friday with Mortal Kombat. We're getting fatalities on the big screen. Cannot wait.
I know.
So you can get that like in. Netflix has said that they're spending $17 billion on original content in 2021. You can't throw EA a few million for an Apex series? Come on.
17 billion?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, 17 billion this year on content. Yep.
Where is all this money? Why do I not see this? That's what I want to know.
There are 100 million subscribers, I guess.
Holy
Let's see.
shit.
Let me bust out the calculator really quick. Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I don't know how many subscribers. I guess I can look really quick. How many people have Netflix? Holy shit. Okay, 203.66 million. So we'll just round that down to 203, and the most expensive tier I think is $16.99. So we'll times that. Let's see, 203. Okay, times 16 times 12 for months of the year. That's $38 billion that they're making a year. Yep, and they're putting what did I say? 17 billion. Into it, whatever. Yeah. So that's
chump change, dude. 17 billion. That's it.
Turn around. That's not even half.
So I have a question about, I don't know if you know this, or know the answer. Does Amazon have anything to do with Netflix, or they all like came up by their own?
Amazon has Amazon Prime, so they're like direct competitors.
True. True.
Amazon came up on their own, or Netflix came up on their own because they used to be, they were like one of the first DVD mailing services. That's how they started. Okay. I remember Bill Burr told this story. He was one of the first comedians to jump on the Netflix train, and the people would announce him coming on stage, like you could see his special on Netflix, and he said that people used to laugh at that, and now. It's like, which comedian isn't on Netflix, you know? So yeah. I think that's funny. But yeah, they started out as like the DVD mailing service, and then they were one of the first on that. So that got them mega rich. And then they were also one of the first, like they were the first mainstream streaming service. Like even when Spotify came out, people said it's like Netflix for music. Like it's just, they're synonymous with streaming. So they're still number one by a wide margin.
Holy shit.
Yep. There's big money in that. Their streaming services. I don't know if you've heard.
So that there is for 17 billion right there is for next year or what?
That's this year. They're investing this year. So then you'll probably start, some of that stuff will probably come out next year and the year after. Like who knows? That's going to be, they've got big anime like blocks now. They've got hella anime originals. They spend it on comedians for stand-up specials, movies, shows. You know, Stranger Things isn't cheap to produce. Lord of the Rings,
buy everything. Amazon
Prime said that their Lord of the Rings show that they're making is the most expensive show ever to be made.
Wow.
It was like 130 million or something like that on the first season.
Damn.
Yeah, money is just asinine now. These numbers that just get thrown out.
For real. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting though.
Yeah. I'm glad that because I stopped paying for Netflix when HBO Max came out, because HBO Max is just more of like, it's just more appealing to me with what they have. And so I didn't have it for quite a while, but then one time, like one of the times I was visiting my family, my sister was like, "Oh, just have mine." Like, "Oh, okay." So I have Netflix, so I'm not paying for it. That's good. But there's hella people in that same situation. So
Oh yeah, if they had everyone like that actually used Netflix paying for it, times that number by 5.
Yeah. Yeah. 203 million subscribers is like low.
Yeah, it'd be in a billion. It'd be at like a billion.
Oh my God.
Ready for some rapid fire? We just hit an hour.
Yeah, let's do it. Mine are quick.
All right.
All right, I can go first. What's your favorite video game controller of all time?
Ooh. Probably an Xbox One. Probably the Xbox One, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, the 360 was great, but it was too curvy and too chunky. I think I think the Xbox One fits my hand the best and it's most comfortable. I also really like the GameCube one, but it was kind of chunky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that'd be my answer.
I think I kind of think that the GameCube controller is slightly overrated. I do think it's great, but people praise it like it's Jesus's gift to Earth.
Right.
Maybe just in the fighting game space because of Melee. I don't know. But it's a great controller. I really, really love the DualSense. It's hard for me to say it's for sure number one because it's still so new. So it's kind of still in the honeymoon phase, and it has like the extra technology, which is kind of unfair. But I really think my answer, I guess, is the DualShock 4. I love that controller. The D-pad. The thing that has always put PlayStation controllers over Xbox for me is the D-pad, which like if you play shooters or sports games, it doesn't matter. But I play hella fighting games and platformers, so like the D-pad is huge to me, and I've never liked an Xbox D-pad. The new one looks better. The Xbox Series X. I think that D-pad is different than the Xbox One D-pad. I've never touched a Series X controller though, so I don't know for sure.
Right.
So I don't really. I guess DualShock 4 is my answer. There isn't too many controllers that I dislike. The original Xbox controller, the Big Duke, that controller is rough.
Yeah.
I think Andre the Giant made that controller. And then as far as classic controllers go, I just want to shout out the Super Nintendo controller. It's awesome. It feels so. You want to talk about a good D-pad? Yeah.
All right. I'll go next, I guess. What's the most underrated personality trait?
Oh man, the most underrated personality trait. Being able to exist in a space without being heard.
Yeah.
I think. Like, I don't know. That sounds bad. But just like being able to just like exist and have a good time and be around people, but not always trying to like get the attention, I guess.
Right.
It's nice when you can just like vibe with somebody. Like you can talk amongst you. You don't have to shut up and sit in the corner and act like you don't exist. But it's just nice to like be in a group of people where there's not obviously one person dominating the conversation. Like it's always so great when you've got your group of friends and you all have such a good chemistry, and then maybe one of them is like, oh, let me bring my other friend, and then that other friend is just such a big personality. It's like, well, now everything is like siphoning through this person, and that always ruins the vibe.
Yeah, that happens in Discord calls sometimes.
Yes, 1,000% happens in Discord calls.
Yeah, where someone that doesn't normally come in will just like they always have something to say about it over everyone else. And it's like, can you just let everyone equally talk, you know?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't always have to be like a fit, 100% like, or just always split so perfectly where everyone talks, this amount, but you can tell when somebody just is always like trying to over talk everyone and always like bring it back to them or what they have to do. And you're just like, will you shut the fuck up? I'm about to mute your ass.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's sometimes where I'm like, I want to mute this person, but I can't because if they're talking and I don't know it and I go to say something, I'm like cutting them off, even though I'm not doing it on purpose.
Yeah. Discord needs to have that where you can like mute somebody and like just like a click of the button really quick. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
My most underrated personality trait. I would say being a good listener. Super underrated, or like anything that has to do with not being selfish. Like, being empathetic towards towards someone, or being a good listener, or someone that's giving and like making sure someone else feels good rather than just how they feel. I think that's underrated. I think at the end of the day, you need to be selfish about, your own happiness and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the universe does center around you in your head. Like everyone is their own center. That makes sense. But you don't have to live like that with like an ego.
Right.
Like you should take care of it. So like, you're feeling good and, you can live life and enjoy it. But then at the same time, understand that it's good to listen to others and care about others. And, I don't know. I always respect people that are very selfless. Like a lot more than someone that's just always about them.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, empathy for me is huge. I hate it when people can't see someone else's point of view. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, how can you not at least kind of get where they're coming from? Like, you don't be 100% dead set on almost anything. Like, at least you don't have to change your opinion, but you can at least understand. Do you have any collectible items? And if you do, what's your favorite one?
I guess like maybe I'm so dumb. Like maybe some shoes or like a watch, but I would like to have.
What's dumb about that?
Because I didn't get it from like a grandparent. Like I used to have a stopwatch for my grandpa. That's a collectible to me.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, then mine's gonna sound dumb too.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I'm just kidding. But I would like to have like a Bloodhound heirloom made from Etsy. I really want to get that someday.
He's sick.
And a poster with Bloodhound right next to it. That'd be nasty.
Yeah, in a nice frame.
Yep, that would look sick. And then signed by the voice actor.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yep. What about you? I know you do.
I mean, I do. I don't have one.
You got hella cool stuff at your house. Yeah, you got comic books. You got the Death Note.
Yeah, I do have a lot of cool stuff. I don't have one that I like absolutely cherish. I have
sword.
I have this sword right here. Shout out to the video watchers. I got this sword right here. This is a Virgil sword in Devil May Cry. And
I didn't know that.
Yep. And let me put it back on the stand there.
Maybe I don't listen, but I don't remember you saying that.
I mean, I might have like when I first got it, but I don't usually like mention that. I usually just say I have a sword or a katana or something. I still have my Gears 2 collector's edition pack, which I think is pretty cool. It has that big cog gear, and it has a code on the back of it to unlock the gold lancer, I think.
Damn.
So that's really cool. And I still have, it has like the Hammer of Dawn blueprints in there and some of Marcus's dad's like pictures and stuff. For a series I love so much, that's really cool. My Death Note is really sick. I will never write in it just because like I don't want to tarnish it or whatever. Maybe I'll put it in a case someday. But yeah, like you said, I have a lot of comic books, but none of them are like huge. I have a Spider-Man 1, but it's not like the original Spider-Man 1. It's like from a newer run from Dan Slott, which it was really good. But yeah, collectibles are cool, man. We gotta love them.
I know. I like one thing that I absolutely love is when someone posts like a picture of their PC setup room and it has like super cool LED lighting like in the corner, like that purplish white, and it looks super fresh. And then you see like Funko Pops, you see like comic books framed, you see like katanas, like just different figures. That shit, it looks so sick to me.
Yeah, dude. When I get my house, my study or like wherever I put my computer basically is gonna look like the nerdiest room you've ever seen in your life.
In the coolest way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have like I'm gonna have the Blades of Chaos in there eventually. Like,
dude.
Yeah, I have a list of swords that I will own someday that I've had for so long, but I've never bought any of them. Like a Keyblade from Sora or Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But yeah, just stuff like that. I have like all these amiibo on my desk that you guys can't see. A Fortnite llama, a couple of like Marvel figures and stuff. That stuff's cool. You don't have to grow out of it. It's like I'm so mad when I initially moved. I had a bunch of video game posters in my room, And none of them were like super nice. They were all like, the $10 posters that you buy from Walmart or whatever. But like when I moved, I was like, I'm going off to college. I'm going to bring a girl home and she's going to see this Mortal Kombat poster and be like, ugh, and then leave. Like, it's so stupid. So I wish I still had all of those. It sucks that I tore them all down because I used to work at a music store or like an entertainment store. Yeah. So I would get like cool displays and stuff. Like I had this giant circle Gears 3 like marketing poster thing. Like, God, I wish I still had that. It was so cool, but I threw out all that stuff. It sucks.
You got to frame your posters too. That's one thing I learned from my last poster is one, it's a bitch to put up and take down if it's not framed, and it just like curls and it doesn't keep the same like same condition. And then in a frame, that shit looks like pure. Yeah.
Like this this big tiger painting that I have on my wall. I don't think it shows up on the camera. It probably doesn't, but I don't want to turn it because then if I turned it back to pointing at me, it'd be off-centered or whatever. But yeah, I have a tiger painting back there that I think looks really cool. But it's just kind of out of place because it's the only thing I have. I have this Death Note poster that you guys can see. It's more like a scroll. It's not like a paper poster. I think that's really dope. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with it, but yeah, that's about it.
Yep. Getting me hyped to design my next room, man.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it is really exciting. That is something I really like about having my apartment. It's like I can do whatever I want with it, which is cool. I haven't because that stuff's expensive. But and the same thing with like, there's certain things I can't nail stuff to the wall. I have, but I'm really not supposed to. But once you get like a house, you can do literally whatever you want with it.
You just cut all the walls down and they're like, what the fuck did you do to the apartment?
Yeah.
You're like, renovated, baby.
Yeah, I made it better. Whoever lives here next is going to be so excited.
Do you see the feng shui going on right here?
You know how many times I got laid in this place?
Just carrying the blades of chaos. They're like, dude, are you fucking crazy? What's wrong with you?
Yes, possible.
You said you had one more?
Wasn't that? No, that was my one more. I think you have one more.
I had one, and I think you said you had three. So did we go?
Oh, we are doing that. Okay. Yeah, I can do my third one is, what's cooler, a gunfight or a sword fight?
I guess it depends. If you're watching it, playing it, what's going on?
You can break it up. Like would you rather watch, like, how about if you're, well, let's start if you're in a movie. Would you rather watch a gunfight in a movie or a sword fight in a movie?
Probably, I think sword wins in every category.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it's so technical. There's so, like, it's lethal as fuck. Like, in Mortal Kombat, when someone gets sliced by a sword, that shit's going to be insane looking.
Yeah.
You don't want to see no stormtrooper aim gunfight where the enemies can never fucking hit the good guy. So
yeah, that's what's so cool about Star Wars is they have the lightsaber. So it's like you have all of your sci-fi stuff, but then you also have the most badass weapon in history, a sword that's a laser, and it can deflect the bullets so they can still fight in sword battles and stuff. It's genius.
It really is genius.
Yeah. I bet like initially, I bet at least 40% of Star Wars success came off of the lightsaber alone.
Damn. Yeah, that's true. Making me want to play Ghost of Tsushima when I get my PS5.
Oh my god, yeah, that game has great gameplay too. I like great sword fights. Yeah, sword fighting is more fun in games. I've always said if some company can make a damn sword fighting game that plays like a first person shooter, basically, you know, like Call of Duty in terms of like deathmatch or some like Apex with swords, that's like, it's over. That's my favorite game of all time. And then, yeah, like in movies and stuff, you can just do cooler stuff. Like, I mean, with a gun, you're going to do like a 360 no scope or something. So like, it's cool. At Wanted, they kind of mixed it up a little bit when you can like swing your arm around and curve the bullet around corners. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I agree. I think swords win in like every capacity.
Yeah, the way that swords can look too, like when I played Godfall, the way that the swords looked was so insane. Like you can put like circles in them, you can put like crazy ass curves. Like the design of swords is just so cool.
Yeah, like you can like make the blade jagged kind of, so like when you pull it out, it like grabs on a little bit and it does more damage and stuff. Yeah, and like even like Sword Art Online, Kirito, the main character, his sword is black, and it's a pretty basic sword outside of that. But even just making it black, it looks dope as hell.
I gotta watch that show.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. Like the Blades of Chaos. There's just so many more things you can do with how swords look.
Yeah.
The Keyblade, that's cool too. I love swords, man.
Yeah, they're sick.
I think that wraps up our show, right?
That does.
This has been episode 80 of the Chillin' for Our Lives podcast. Thank you all for tuning in, listening to us ramble on for over an hour now, almost an hour and 15.
Yep.
If you loved what you listened to, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, follow us on Spotify, all of that good stuff, wherever you're listening to this right here, right now. Follow us on Twitter, review us on Apple, give us 5 stars. That helps out more than you'll ever know, like we always say. Follow us on every social media platform available. Stadium Beats, ElectricityWave. Do you have any final words for the people?
I mean, thank you for listening. And if you guys ever, like we say every podcast, but it's nice to revisit. If you have any comments or opinions or questions for future episodes, like we see the comments. So, you guys are more than welcome to get in a conversation. We'll see it, or other people that comment will see it, and it'd be great to talk about for a future episode.
Yeah, I'm totally down to like even just replying and like having a conversation in the comments of the YouTube video or Twitter, or like if you say like submit questions, we can answer specific questions or advice, or if you're like, I'd love to see what you guys think about this topic, and then we can talk about that. We'd love to like involve you guys more in the show. I think would be awesome. So please don't hesitate to send us that. Not a guarantee, like just because you send it to us, we're going to talk about it on the show, but maybe, possibly. But yeah, for this week, that wraps it up. This little outro here. If you noticed, if you listened to the whole episode last time, you'll notice that we have a new song. We have a new outro song, just like little jingle. This week, I hope you like the intro, but this week, instead of playing the new outro song, which we'll get back to next week, instead, I'm going to play a song from my new album that hopefully, if everything goes well, should be out next Friday, April 30th. This song is called Insert Coin. It's like a fun, fast, upbeat, arcadey song. Hope you like it. And until next time, we will talk to you guys later.